Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel. You got your boys here, Lanny and Bert, the Dividend Diplomats. It's Monday. You know what that means. It's our weekly podcast episode. In today's episode, we're going to talk to you about the 10 largest dividend paying stocks by market cap.
Oh, guys, but you got to smash that subscribe button. Give your boys here, the DD, some love here, guys. And let's go Guardians tonight in game one of the ALCS against that team in New York.
Yeah, the hated Yankees, the pinstripes, everyone's favorite team to hate. Let's see the Guardians, who have what, a third of the payroll of the Yankees. Let's see if they can take down Goliath here. Can David take Goliath in the ALCS? Stay tuned.
Let us know in those comments. Who do you guys want? The Cleveland Guardians or the New York Yankees? Let us know below. But
Mhm.
Bert's got a nice,
Yeah.
fun screamer here on Monday morning, guys. Get that coffee brewing right now.
Yeah, we're here to talk dividend stocks, though. So we've been looking. We're trying to slice and dice the portfolio. We're trying to slice and dice the market. We're trying to do whatever we can to find a stock to buy right now, because finding a dividend stock to grow your passive income is not the easiest. We've never actually talked about it. We've never actually thrown in one of our lists, which ones are just the largest companies that pay a dividend. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about the stock. We're going to talk about the yield and just quickly buzz through just a few metrics that are important. But overall, this is going to be fun. And make sure in that comment section, you let us know out of how many of the 10 you own below.
All right, bro. We got 10 huge companies here. Market caps from 500 billion to over $3 trillion here in market capitalization, guys. They all pay dividends. For the most part, they all grow dividends. Payout ratios are all within the dividend diplomats payout ratio below 60%. You gotta love it. Bert, which order do you want to go? You were going top down or down up?
You know what, Lanny? Let's go top down. Everybody knows the big companies. I think there's more surprise and there's more fun actually in the bottom of this list. So let's
Okay.
save that for the suspense. Let's start with number one here. We're in the $3 trillion club here. Apple takes the top spot, ticker symbol AAPL. Their market cap is 3.46 trillion with that T on there. With the climate stock price, that dividend yield is 0.43%. It's actually below that 4-year average, 0.56%. Quick note here, everybody. Download this as a screener from Seeking Alpha. For some reason, Seeking Alpha shows the 4-year average yield instead of the 5-year average yield like we usually pull in, but same idea. Regardless, it'd be the same answer for Apple. Because of that appreciation we've seen, their yield is lower than their average. Payout ratio is solid, 14%. In their dividend growth, we know what Apple's dividend growth is, Lanny. It's always modest. It's about 4 to 5%, depending on what year you use, and they've been increasing that dividend for over a decade.
Yeah, they don't try to commit so much to increasing the dividend. They like to reinvest, obviously, between the content streaming that they have, their wearable devices, hardware devices, ear devices. I mean, you got
Everything.
all the devices up and down. Obviously, I didn't even say anything about phones either. So, I mean, they don't try to commit so much to growing that dividend, but hey, you still got about a 5% growth, 10 years of doing it. So that is Apple. How many of you guys own Apple stock individually without owning it indirectly via ETFs or mutual funds? Let us know.
Number two,
Number two,
Nvidia, ticker symbol NVDA. We are sticking in the tech sector.
NVIDIA.
Should not surprise anybody here. They have a market cap of 3.3 billion. Because I don't know about you, Andy, if you didn't know this, Nvidia's been pretty hot over the last few years, wouldn't you say? I
Yeah, I
mean,
think I think NVIDIA. There's this thing called like I guess AI that they're involved in, and
hmm,
I guess they're kind of
interesting.
monopolizing themselves and the major one of very few players in it.
Yeah, tell me more about this AI thing. I'd love to hear more about it.
Yeah, Allen Iverson was a great basketball player in the NBA, guys, and it's amazing just seeing AI take off.
Yep. So they do pay. Nvidia does pay a dividend yield. So it counts on this list. That yield is 0.02%. So it's a very low dividend yield. Obviously, dividends aren't the name of their game, but they pay one, so they're on the list. Dividend growth, they're just recently new to the game. So it's a low dividend. It's going to be high dividend growth when they do it because they're starting out. So that's Nvidia, everybody. Number two on this list.
Well, let's dive into number three. It's got a little bit more meat on the bone here, guys. We're going to another 3 trillion market cap Microsoft, ticker symbol MSFT, one of the greatest growth stocks, one of the greatest dividend
Mhm.
growth stocks as well. A yield of 0.72%, growing it for almost 20 years, just below their 4-year average. A low payout ratio, but that dividend growth rate of well over 10% is always nice to see.
Microsoft, everyone. So that's our third. We're leaving the $1 trillion club. We're going into the billions again. We're dropping off the T, changing it to a B with number four, Broadcom, ticker symbol AVGO. They only have a market cap of 847 billion.
Only,
Only. Well,
only.
since yeah, but we're going to picking up a little bit more yield here as we come down the
Oh,
list. Their dividend yield is 1.16%, which
wow.
is well below their 4-year average of 2.49% because this stock has appreciated like crazy. Payout ratios of close to 50%. Dividend growth in the teens at 13 to 14% on average, and they've increased that dividend for 13 consecutive years.
I mean, solid all around. Obviously, they've had some huge price appreciation. And Bert, you own Broadcom, right?
Nope. Qualcomm.
Ah,
Wrong com.
the
Uh,
wrong com, the
yeah.
wrong com.
Yeah. That's right. So yeah, I think we're both 0 for 4 on this, right? We're 0 for
Oh,
4
for
so
four.
far.
How many do you guys own out of the first four? Let us know. Don't forget to like and subscribe. But let's go into number five. Number five is not really a highly talked about stock, let alone in the dividend, investing universe here. But we're talking about Taiwan Semiconductor (TSM), 840 billion with a yield of 1.15%. Payout ratio is actually the second lowest here at just above 8% on the payout ratio next to Nvidia. Dividend growth about 6 to 7%, right now, but they haven't been doing it for that long. But hey, you can get another big company in the semiconductor space, TSM.
Love it. Love it. I have TXM, Texas Insurance, so I do not have TSM. So like this, I'm still shooting 0 for 5 right now. Number six, we're moving out of the tech sector finally, Lanny. Finally, we're out of
Yes,
the tech sector. This one actually surprised me. I wasn't expecting them to be number six on this list. You
huge. They're huge now.
are Eli Lilly Co., ticker symbol LLY. They have an $839 billion market cap, according to Seeking Alpha. That yield 0.54%. So it's well below 1%, well below that 4-year average of 1.13. Increase that dividend for 9+ years in a double-digit fashion with that 15% average dividend growth rate.
Yeah, they've been a beloved dividend growth stock because of really the growth that they've seen across all fronts on the price appreciation, on the dividend growth. Still a modest payout ratio. Can they keep up the dividend growth would be my question. But hey, they've been doing it for over 9 years.
Yeah, that's Eli Lilly Co. Moving on to number seven. Just had
Let's
my
see it.
groceries delivered from them for the week. Walmart, ticker symbol WMT. We do love Walmart Plus in our house. It's been a nice little addition to the subscriptions for the Burt household. Market cap is 643 billion. That yield is 1%. Well below that average of 1.48%. Walmart has never been known to be a high dividend yield stock. It's also, even though it's a dividend king, it's increased that dividend for 50 years. Doesn't do it by a lot. Single quarter, every single year they increase the quarterly dividend by a penny. So Walmart is not a great yielding or a great dividend stock, but it's a great appreciation stock over the last 5 years.
Except the big surprise that they had for investors this year
Oh, did they
when
really?
they remember they increased their dividend from, well, they had the split, but then they had a large increase to their dividend this year. That's what I
Interesting.
remember.
I forgot about that. You know what? I think you're right. I absolutely forgot about
Yeah, it was nine
absolutely
nine
forgot about
percent,
that. Yeah,
9%.
I was wrong. Before this year, they were not a great dividend growth stock.
Right.
This year, nice little banger for the investors. It's number seven.
Number eight, though, guys, let's climb in to the funnest industry here, the banking industry. Let's go high five Jamie Dimon for JP Morgan Chase, ticker symbol JPM, 625 billion, still yielding over 2%, 25% payout ratio. a significant growth rate in the banking industry between 7 and 8%. Been doing it for over a decade. JP Morgan Chase.
Only bank on this list. It's interesting. It's too big to fail is now only represented by your one with JP Morgan.
And Bert, didn't you just do a Chase sign up bank bonus with them?
I did $300. $300 if you, I think it was direct deposit, $1,000. So not a pretty easy to hit one-time pop for direct deposit. Get that in there, get the $300, hold it for 60 days. Not a bad return on your cash.
Bert said, "Give me that money and I'm going to buy a few shares of SCHD." But now, what is this ninth dividend growth stock here? The top 10, guys. We're almost getting to the end here. Number 9.
United Health. Ticker
Oof.
symbol UNH. Their market cap is $552 billion. That yield is 1.33%. They're actually the only one on this list, Lanny, that's pretty much in line with their average dividend yield. So that's a good sign there. Payout ratio 30%, approximately just under 29 and some change. Dividend growth is very solid for them, mid-teens, like so many on this list. That's about 13 to 15%, depending on the number of years that you use. Increase that dividend for 14 consecutive years.
Even after the big cyber security mishap they've had, they're still a top 10 by market cap company that pays a dividend at number 9. Love them. I own Elevance Health, one of their competitors, aka Anthem. But number 10, if you didn't catch one of our videos from last week, check it out when we talked a little bit about oil. Exxon Mobil, ticker symbol XOM, making the list, rounding it out. Number 10, still yielding above 3%. Payout ratio below 50%.
Mm.
Growth has been a little bit lower for them, but they are a dividend aristocrat on this list.
So that's the only one I think we own on this list, Lanny. We both went 1 for 10 here. The top 10, Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft, Broadcom, Taiwan Semiconductor, Eli Lilly and Company, Walmart, JP Morgan, United Health, and Exxon Mobil. Everyone, let us know how many of these top 10 do you own? Did any of the names on this list surprise you? Throw those notes in the comment section down there.
Subscribe to this channel, guys. Like the bloody hell out of this video. We got one thing to tell you because you're either with us or you're against us, Jack. That was Bert, the Hurt, and Lanny from the Dividend Diplomats over and out.